tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Monday. Am I right, boys? Yeah, I lived in Arkansas growing up. You know the state of Arkansas? Yeah, you do. Okay. I lived with my mom. We had a house on a private cul-de-sac, kind of upper middle class family. Right across the street were the Allens, and then next to them were the Bloodsoes. Now, I guess I was 16 at the time. My mom said, I'm going to be out of town at a flower festival, and I want you to stay with your sister, and absolutely no parties while I'm gone. So I had the thought, I am absolutely throwing a party while she's gone. Thought it would be like a couple friends, 10, 12 people, some beer. It was like a novel thing to get drunk at the time. Less of a habit and lifestyle like it is now. So I started inviting friends, and it started to kind of erupt. Like, I would go to a class, and people I didn't know, they would be like, "Can't wait for the party on Friday, man." And I was like, uh-oh, this is not good. This is not going to end well. So about Thursday, I was like, this just isn't going to happen. I am putting the end to this party. My fellow classmates were going to party no matter what. They weren't taking no for an answer. So I'm at my sister's house the night of the party, and I'm just going to lay low and hide there like I do with all my problems. And probably about 9 o'clock, two of my friends come over and say, "You got to get back to your house, man. We're throwing a party whether you like it or not." And I was like, I wish I had a spine. So I rush back to my house, my mom's house, whatever. I pull into the driveway. I go up to unlock the front door, and there is a dead cat on my front door, on my front stoop. Now this is like a house probably 50 yards off of this cul-de-sac. So someone, I don't know this actually to this day, I'm guessing someone accidentally hit it with their car, and then there was no party, so they threw it up there. Again, this is Arkansas in the mid-90s. It's not a good place. And also in this story, every stereotype is true. So my dad's a veterinarian, so I have no gross out factor, it is what it is. So I just grabbed the tail, and I just gingerly set it to the side of the house. Well, 5 minutes from being home, here comes every Tom, Dick, and Jane of my high school and every high school around it. There's probably, I'm guesstimating, 350 people that show up. And I'm like, oh, this is not fun at all. My beer shows up. Instantly it gets stolen. I'm looking around and I'm noticing, hey, didn't I have a Sega Genesis and a telephone and alarm clock? Who steals an alarm clock? I mean, how desperate are you in life? So I go outside and I'm panicked. I have anxiety issues, as everyone that's funny does. And these animals are throwing the cat against my mom's house. I'm going to let that sit in for even just another 2 seconds. They were throwing a cat against my mom's house. At this point, I am equal parts terrified, furious, and sad for the cat, even though it's dead. So I say the one thing that gets teenagers moved quicker than anything, and that phrase is, "The cops are coming!" They flew out of there like, you know, they were on fire. Headed out. I got to hang out with my original 10 friends that night. We robbed one of their parents' liquor cabinets. Got hammered. It was actually one of the funnest ends to a terrible night I've ever experienced. So, my mom gets home, and I have the thought, did I get away with this? Am I a free man? Oh, I forgot a crucial detail. End of the night, you know, as a lover of animals and a sympathizer of this cat, I went and put it in a shoebox and set it gingerly down in the gully that was behind my mom's house. So anyway, time passes, day 2, day 3, I got away with this. I threw a terrible party that I hated and did not get in trouble. This is good news for the Timester. So I live in the basement of my mom's house, you know. And this was before it was pathetic when I was in my teens and supposed to do that. Not in my late 20s as I later did where it was sad. So I'm using the bathroom and my brother-in-law comes down and knocks on the door and says, "You need to come upstairs." And I said, "All right, I'm using the bathroom." And without going through gross details, it was a little bit longer of a bathroom break. He comes back a minute and a half. "No, seriously, you need to come upstairs." So I'm like, uh-oh. So I go upstairs, and in my living room is my mom, my brother-in-law, all 6 of my neighbors, and a cop. I instantly start crying. I don't know if it was just like there was too much tension. I couldn't take it. And I said, I'm so sorry. Like, I wanted to have 10 friends over. It turned into this enormous things. There was drinking. There was marijuana. I'm really, really sorry. And up pops Senator Bledsoe, the wife of Reverend Bledsoe, who are devout Baptist people. And you know how I said earlier all the stereotypes in this story are true? They're assholes. So they say, we knew about the party, but one thing we found a little more disturbing is Reverend Bledsoe went down to your gully, found a shoebox, opened the shoebox, and found our cat Fluffy. Now, Fluffy was adopted when it was a kitten. We saved its life. And the fact that you would do something in the name of Satan is both disgusting and illegal. Right as she finished, my cat Pepe jumped on my lap and I was shaking and I was crying. And he knew cats are amazing creatures. I hesitated to tell this story because there is animal cruelty, even though I wasn't involved. I love animals more than anything. And situations like this are why. My cat jumps on my lap and purred and, did that cat thing, like, I'll let you touch me right now. This is good. So the Bledsoes say, listen, we'll pay for your therapy and your, what do you call the de-sataning? Exorcism. They were going to pay for my exorcism and my therapy. Or if you continue with this mirage that you didn't perform some satanic ritual, even though I had a cat on my lap. How terrible are these people? We are going to prosecute and make sure that you spend time in jail. And then the cop pumps up. Yes, you will absolutely go to jail for this if you do not admit it and go for your exorcism and your therapy. And I was kind of like, I don't know what to tell you. I would never hurt an animal. My dad's a veterinarian. I love animals. I've owned dogs and cats my entire life. I've lived on a farm. There's nothing about me that would harm an animal. And they said, okay, we'll file the prosecution papers on Monday, and you better get a lawyer. And I was like, fuck. Because you know how like when you're 16, everything is drama. And then like real drama happens, you're like, oh, where is my 9 Inch Nails record? This is terrible. So I go to school, and this rumor gets spread around school, you know, like a wildfire, that like, you know, I was going to go to jail. And as much as I hated all those people, and I'm going to make this number up, but just pretend it's real, 56 people went to the police station and said I had nothing to do with the cat's death. 56 people. That is just not a made-up number. You can't make up statistics, right, Trump? And so I was let off. I was not charged. It was, happy endings, right? 2 months later, I lost my virginity. And when I asked the girl what attracted her to me and why she was interested, she said, 56 people went to the police station and got you off. I figured I'd help. That didn't happen. That was just a terrible punchline to a decent story. Thank you for listening. My name's Tiny. RedDoorShow.com is my cartoon. You can look at it. Thank you for having me.